A lot of you have been hitting me up and telling me how much you are struggling getting letting agents on side for rent to rent. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what you need to do to get deals through letting agents. I'm Simon, rent to rent specialist and mentor. And on this channel, all I do is I try and help you control property you don't own to change your life and then reinvest that money, nope, not in stupid stuff, but in assets that you do own for long-term wealth. So if that sounds good, you're in the right place. And if that sounds really good, you need to make sure that you join us for the official Rent to Rent Super Conference. It's the 27th and 28th of January 2024. I will post a link below in the description. Tickets are selling out fast, so be fast, and I would love to meet you in person. Now, let's get into today's content. So I want to share with you 5 key ways to get letting agents on side. Number 1, FaceTime is a must. That's right. I know a lot of you are hiding behind your phones. You're hiding behind Rightmove, and that can work. However, one of the key things you're going to need to do to set yourself aside from other rent-to-renters is to actually get down there, okay? Go in person. I remember when I first started, I would pop into the different letting agents. I would say hi. I would tell them what I'm looking for. I would see what they've got. Sometimes I'd bring in coffee. Sometimes, I'd invite one of the agents to a coffee or a lunch to build relationships, because what that does is it keeps you in the front of their mind, because you don't just do this once, you do it more than once. And also, when they do get that opportunity, they think, what about Simon? Number 2 is consistency. And I hate to say this because it does sound cliche, but you will be surprised how many people start off building with letting agents for the first week, first 2 weeks, and then they just drop off. So if you look at it from the agent's perspective, they've got all these different people coming through their offices, all right, on the phone, sort of claiming that they do that they can do company lets or whatever it is, but they never actually follow through. So what happens is their threshold for nonsense comes down and down and down and down. And it's harder for them to trust. So a great way to overcome that is just to stick around. So I remember when I started, I would be going into their offices, I would be giving them phone calls, I would be touching base week in, week out. And after a few months, they realized, you know what? This person's not going anywhere. They're legit. And what I always try to do is I don't just go in and, just do small chat. I try and go with new information, new value, which starts to build that trust and credibility. Number 3, do what you say you're going to do. That's right. All right. There's nothing better than someone saying, yep, I'm going to do X, and what they do is X. Not only that, but they can even go one step further. So whenever you say to the agent, yep, I want to view the property, make sure you go and view it. If you say you're going to be there at 11, be there at 11. All right. And then when it gets later on in the deal process, when you actually get to the contract point, make sure that you follow through with the deal. All right. Because if you drop out at that point, why would they trust you again? And last but not least, and this is an obvious one, but it's so important. There's no better way to build trust with agents than signing a deal, guaranteeing the rent, and being a great company tenant. So when you get to that point, do that, and then they will want to work with you again and again. Number 4 is be flexible. That's right. You've got to be easy to work with, because as soon as you start getting, very difficult and very particular and very inflexible, what you're going to find is you're going to lose rapport, and they're going to think, might just go with what I know, which is a normal family tenant. And I'll never forget one of my first deals. In fact, I think it was the first deal with a letting agent. And I got through the entire process. And on the day when I went into the agent to sign and grab the keys, I spoke to the lady and she said to me, do you know what, Simon? We've almost done this so many times, but we've never actually done one of these deals. And I asked why. And she said, because they're usually difficult to work with, and we found you so easy and so flexible. You've made my life really, really simple. And that's the key. So you need to be flexible. You need to be easy, and you need to make it feel like you've done this before and they are in good hands. Because as soon as you start showing any type of red flags, they're going to tap out, I promise you. Last but not least, I want to give you a really interesting strategy. This is a big, big thing. And if you can implement this, you may see a massive difference. So what happens is when we think of said agent, we usually think of them in terms of the agency. So we're trying to build relationships with everybody in the office. We're trying to call them and we're speaking to different people every time we do. All right, we're trying to go in and speak to the entire office. And you know what? Sometimes it's easier to actually win one person over initially, especially if they're a trusted person in that agent, a decision maker, and then they can actually do the hard work for you. So what you want to do at the beginning is you want to have conversations with various people, but find out one, who you seem to click with, and two, who has the influence in the agent, and then just focus on them. You know, every time you call, hi, is James there? Every time you pop in, is James around? James is the one you want to build with. James is the one you want to get coffee. James is the one you want to go out for a curry on Friday night. And these are the things that are possible. And once you've got James on board, he then will spread the word and get his other employees or his colleagues on board. And that was essential for me at the beginning. I got the right people on board and then they did all the heavy lifting. So don't go for the whole agency. Focus on the point person. And one more thing, just because James isn't on board doesn't mean Amy won't be. All right, so sometimes Amy might have worked in an agent where they understood this. So when you get a no from one individual, try and get through to another individual and you will be surprised what results you can get. In fact, I've even had scenarios where Lisa has managed the agent and it's been a no. There's a big turnover in agents. Lisa's left and John has come. He understands it and then he's worked with me. So no doesn't always mean no in terms of letting agents. Hope you found this video useful. All right, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.